This conference will
Hello,
now be recorded.
hello, and welcome to Watch Cheryl Scrap for Monday, March 11th. And I sound a little crazy because this new GoToMeeting room tells me this meeting is now being recorded, and it throws me off every time. So we are being recorded. Tonight I'm going to be scrapping a photo of me and my hubby, and I'm going to be using Elif Sahin. I think that's how you say her name. I hope it is.
For some reason, I think it's Sahin, but I could be wrong.
Elif
I don't know if
Sahin.
I've ever heard her verbalize her name.
So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. So you should see my screen. And I already got my photo here, and I think I'm going to do a little crop on it. May use two different ones. We'll see.
Jan, does that help you understand how to pull the chat out? I forget. We have that question every time. I should have that ready to go.
Yeah.
Hi, Disney Mom Michelle. And I only say that because Michelle's also here. And I saw Kat snuck in too while Cheryl was introducing.
All right. So your vote, the landscape or portrait version of the photo?
Do the other one for me. I think I like it across because it seems kind of awkwardly tall.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I like that better. It feels a little awkwardly tall. It makes you guys feel really tall.
Yeah.
Jan likes the portrait better though. So, you know.
Yeah. Everybody's different. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go with this little one, and I'm going to do something a little different tonight.
Ooh. What are you cooking, Kat?
Ooh, Kat's cooking.
You're adding a background first? Is that going to be something different?
Yes, that's something different. That's it.
That's it? You're done? That's it. Thanks for
That's
coming.
It. This is my minimal page.
The shortest thing she's ever done. Yep, she's going minimalist tonight.
Yep, this is it. That's all that's going to happen.
Oh my goodness. I love how you said that. You're like, okay, done.
Done.
That's it.
Oh, actually, I think I'm going to.
Hey, if you extend your layers panel just a tiny bit, will that bother you?
Me?
Yeah.
No, it won't bother me at all.
Like pull it to the left just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see what I'm using. Is that what you're trying to say?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So tonight I'm going to be using a bundle. It's the Cupid bundle. It's the one I'm using.
Gotcha.
So I decided I was going to duplicate this layer here.
That's a big bundle.
Right?
Yeah.
It has lots of fun stuff in it.
Elements and papers and cards. Oh my. No, just kidding. Oh, and that cute click stamp. I think I need that stamp. And the wood shapes. Ooh.
Yep. All fun little things.
Lots of fun things. Have any of you used any of Elif's products yet? Stacy is like, yes, with an exclamation point. Sarah says, yep. Let's see. Aww. So just two of you tonight? I've actually been using her for a little while. I really love her actions and her styles.
I just thought, well, I always do my own style, and it's good sometimes to break out a little bit and do something different.
Oh, totally.
I thought, you know what? I'm going to give this a whirl tonight.
Yeah. No, it's
And-
always good to step out of your comfort zone.
And see kind of if that would work for me.
I love the scale of her patterns too, Stacia. I don't know. Some days I'm just really into those little itty bitty patterns. They make me really happy. So Michelle, I asked if anybody has scrapped with any of Elif's stuff. And Stacia has, Sarah has. Everybody else is just like totally enthralled watching Cheryl. So
They're probably in shock.
they're trying to figure out where everything is.
They're like, what is happening? What is happening?
Can use more papers when the scale is fine. Yeah, you can. You can also, for me, it's like when I'm using a lot more patterns, sometimes the smaller scale works better. Tax season. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I bet you're not getting much done with tax season.
I can hear your little children.
You can?
Yes. Is your other mic on?
No, it's not on the web. It's not on my webcam.
Huh.
That's so weird. It's hi. I don't want my webcam showing.
Like, I don't want to show that.
No, it's still showing my webcam. Stop showing my webcam. Good thing I'm dressed, right?
Yes.
Like, oh my goodness. This meeting room, Cheryl, it just keeps doing things weird.
I know. We were actually talking, I think I may try a different platform. We're going to do some testing. We're going to stay in GoToMeeting for right now, but we're going to do some testing to see.
Kat says, show yourself. I'm like, I did. You missed it. Is that better? Or can you still hear my crazy boys?
No, I don't hear them anymore.
That is so weird.
They weren't very
I know.
loud. It's just I could hear them. They were having a major conversation about something. I was like, I couldn't. You know me, I'm nosy, so I'm like, what are they talking about?
Oh my gosh, Cheryl, I'm dying. Jan wrote she flashed us.
Oh.
I'm like, nope, I am dressed. Thank you.
Yeah, and if mine came on accidentally, I would actually be dressed today too. That isn't always the case. When I'm at home, I'm in my house clothes or my granny gown. Y'all know I like my granny gown.
Yep. It is fun, Kat, and we've done it before. The problem with this meeting room is when you do that, I mean, sharing my webcam would be fine, but there's a lot of people, so we end up with too much talking over. Like, because we've had it before where we've had it in a different room that people were chatting with their cams, and it was like, wait. Sarah, I just unplug mine. I honestly, I only have to use it for my school meetings, and usually I leave it unplugged other than that, but I had it in and forgot to unplug it the other day. Oh, when I was talking to Cheryl, never mind. I know why it's plugged in.
That's why.
I'm like, why would it be plugged in? What did I do? That's right. I was chatting with Cheryl. Yeah, I had to buy mine special, Michelle. My computer doesn't have one, and I actually really like it because then I don't end up with weird problems where it thinks it's connecting to the microphone or the headset, but apparently it's actually trying to use the webcam instead. She is a fast scrapper, Jan. Is this the first time you've been here? Sometimes I'm not sure because sometimes people log in with different names than I'm used to. I was going to say, that's my Jan
first
Quilty
time?
mom. No, it's my Quilty mom, Jan.
Oh, Quilty mom.
I'm like, sometimes we get If you've been before, it won't always ask you to sign in. So if you did any of the ones over the weekend with the mouse scrappers, when we use GoToMeeting, it won't necessarily ask you to sign in again because your computer remembers who you are. So, or if you've used it for anything, like I've actually used it for other sites that are totally unrelated to scrapbooking. And so it's never asked me to sign back in. Like for a while, mine was showing up as Courtney in Las Vegas because that's how I had to use it for school. I was like, let's change that. So
Let's change that, shall we?
yeah, Sarah, you know what? You got me back on the topic. That's the other reason with the webcams, because they do take over a fair amount at the top. And if it's set up so that you talk, then when you talk, it like tries to switch to your screen and it can get kind of confusing. But it does make Cheryl's screen smaller with the webcam plugged in. So, especially if you're on a laptop and not dual monitors like some of us spoiled people.
Yes, I like to have my double.
Oh, why would yesterday be your last Skype session, Kim? I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with Skype. It seems to always never want to do what I want it to do. So instead, I just kind of try and use other services if possible, like Google Hangouts or Zoom or GoToMeeting. So dual monitors is like having a double screen. So instead of just having a single screen, it extends out the, it's you know what? Let me do it this way. It's like instead of scrapping a single page, you scrap a double page. So instead of just having the single screen, you have a double screen. So things can go back and forth across like I can just slide them across as though it was one huge screen. Does that kind of explain it? Oh, cool. Kim says that her daughter and son-in-law are moving back to Dallas-Fort Worth.
Oh, nice.
She's accepted a call as a pastor, and he also got a job offer. That's awesome.
Yay.
Ah, Julie snuck in. She has it at work, and it's great. Yeah, not having to squint. For me, honestly, for scrapping, what I do is I throw Photoshop up on one, and then I can put all of my supplies up on the other, and I can just pull back and forth, and then usually I reserve a small corner for Netflix or Hulu or whatever I'm watching that day.
Like,
You can plug it into a laptop, Sarah. That's actually how I started with a dual monitor. They have some really cool things you can buy that will hold 2 monitors, Jan. Or for me, my desk is a kitchen table, so it's plenty big enough. It was a kitchen table, but it's a small kitchen table, to be fair. But a friend gave it to us, so we used it for a kitchen table. Like theoretically, I guess you could probably say it's supposed to seat 6, but it'd be like 2 adults and 4 tiny kids. You could probably seat 4 adults in it comfortably. So, and then my husband built me a really cool little wooden stand. So my monitors both sit up, so they sit up near, like, for my eyes. So I'm not like looking down at them or crouching down. Does that make sense? Kind of, sort of, maybe. Anyway, long story short, or long story long. Jan says her new desk is a sewing machine cabinet minus the sewing machine. That's cool. Oh, I can smell my things cooking, Cheryl. Sarah, I used to set mine up on the kitchen table because it was easy to plug in the monitor by the laptop. So I just did it at the kitchen table because that was where I was scrapping. But yeah, if you scrap like on the couch in the living room and stuff, I can totally see why you wouldn't use it. Ooh, pizza for dinner. Homemade or did you buy it?
Homemade? Do we get an answer?
He ordered. She told her husband he was on dinner tonight, so he ordered pizza.
Of course, right?
Oh, an old laptop may or may not. It depends. It depends on how old it is, but more it depends on what cord connections you have on it. Because some of the older ones still have like HDMI and stuff, and that's really easy to connect to monitor. But even the ones that don't, you may, like mine didn't have that. It had one of the older monitor things, but I found a cord that worked to connect them. Kim said her husband left town, so she made a 3-bean avocado salad. Kat rearranged her whole office to accommodate a lot of desk space for a monitor. And then on the side, she has a place to do arts and crafts and stuff. That's awesome. Kim says she has a desk upstairs, but lately she scraps on her lap in the living room. Yeah, I think I've told this before, but we technically what should be our living room is actually kind of our office. So when you walk in, downstairs where you would expect a living room to be, instead it's an office with all of our desks.
Like just desks.
Just desk. Is it kind of funny?
Well, for dinner tonight we had pan-fried pork chops, broccoli cheese rice, and some of us had green beans and some of us had salads. So it was pretty good.
Why did you have different vegetables?
Olivia is still freaked out about the whole romaine issue. They recalled, and she's just like, I don't want to.
Oh, they recall all the time. Come on.
I know. But
I mean,
I don't blame her. But and then Daniel just didn't want a salad tonight, so
yeah,
green beans, and Jay and I had a salad.
I like green beans.
I do too. I need to be better about. Did I make too many of those? I guess I did. There we go.
Better about making vegetables. That's my problem. So I'm just, giving it out there for anybody else.
making it fresh. I need to, instead of, I don't like frozen ones because they are rubbery. I don't like that. So I like them canned or fresh.
That's so funny because I'm the opposite. I like them frozen because I think the canned ones are rubbery.
Ugh, I can't. It's like chewing on craziness when they're frozen. Like I don't like them.
That's what I think about the canned ones. That's so funny.
Yeah. I'm like, when we buy, veggies for like a soup mix or whatever, I'm like, I don't want it. I'll buy like different bags of vegetables to avoid having the green beans in there.
That's funny. See, and there's a mix that I like that has lima beans in it, but I don't like the lima beans. So I will buy like other bags to not get the lima beans.
See, I like the lima beans.
Ugh, I do not.
Yeah, we like the limas here, and butter peas and all that fun stuff. And
I like butter beans.
On my salad tonight, I had grapes and cucumber and tomato and some cube cheese. It's really good. The grapes were quite yummy.
At least we're talking healthy food tonight, Michelle. And it's usually my fault because this chat falls at 6:00, which is like right at my dinner time.
She's like, I want to eat.
I usually haven't eaten during this.
Like,
Cat's making chili. Kim said she needs to have more fruits and vegetables and then went off to get an apple because we made her feel that way. Oh, Sarah.
That wasn't to make you feel bad.
I hope it's something good on TV. Ooh, Kat says she's backing up while she listens to us scrap.
Backing up.
She found her lost pages, so she figured now or never. It took forever. How are you backing up? That's taken forever. I just was, so I have a travel EHD basically is what I consider it, but I keep all my photos and kits on. It's kind of like a local backup too, in a way. And then I use the Backblaze for an online backup, but I was just moving all of my stuff over to that today so I can take it with me on a vacation. Well, I don't know that it's a vacation. We'll call it a vacation.
You're leaving the house.
I'm leaving the house.
That counts.
Ooh, Michelle says her husband has to work his weekend job tonight, so he's bringing her a McDonald's hot chocolate. Do they have good hot chocolate? Because I'll admit, I'm really partial to Timmy's hot chocolate. It can sometimes be too sweet, but I really like it.
Speaking of Timmy, I haven't seen her in a long time.
I haven't either.
I sent her a message and I haven't gotten a reply. So
Aw.
if anybody talks with her or chats with her, let her know that she's being missed.
Absolutely. Oh, Kat found where she saved all of her pages from 2017 and before on an old 2 terabyte passport. And she's now doing 4 to 8. Ooh, Ghirardelli chocolate's really good. I like that. That would be worth it. I don't think they use that here at our McDonald's. Yeah, 10 years of scrapbooking pages missing will make you want to back up.
Yeah.
I do not use Paprika because when I was originally doing recipe apps, Paprika was Mac and Apple only. And so I found something I liked and I've just stuck with it rather than switching over now that it's actually available. I think it's available now for Android. I can't remember. But
Yeah.
Jenna asked about Paprika, so I was answering her. Jan says she's in love with Icelandic chocolate. Yeah, it will make you cry, Stacia. If I lost all of my stuff, I would totally cry, especially the pages that are already scrapped. Ooh.
Right. Ugh.
That's actually, so I dreamed we had a fire one day, a couple of years ago now. I dreamed our neighborhood kids set our apartment on fire. It was a bad situation.
Yeah, you did have some crazy neighbors there for a while.
Yeah, I did. And so then we, yeah, so ever since then I've been trying to get all of my paper ones backed up because that was my concern. I was like, okay, my photos are backed up, but what will happen to my paper albums?
Right.
So that's been my goal, and I'm slowly getting there. I guess I should have done it a lot faster, but we moved, and so I wasn't afraid of those kids anymore.
Like, we moved. We moved.
Jenna, did you see Kat's question? She wants to know if the app is worth $30. That is a lot. Kim says her golden retriever loves apples, so he's staring at her.
He's like, give me some apple.
Yeah, I could use a fireproof safe for my paper albums, but I move too much. And as heavy as my paper albums are, I think the fireproof safe with them in would be even worse. My husband would probably complain at that. He doesn't complain about my albums. He did tell me last time, he's like, I'm so glad you switched to digital because these are just so heavy to move.
He's like, I'm done.
So I plan on taking them and reprinting them in a Shutterfly book so they're nice and small and easy, even though they're the paper ones. Oh, yeah. That would be awesome. And I guess if we owned our own house, I would consider something like that, Kim, having one that's bolted to the concrete. But I don't think my renter people would look very highly on that.
All right, no.
I am doing, well, I'm not truly scanning them. I'm photographing them with my DSLR on the highest whatever, which I compared when I was trying to scan them to that, and I find that it's just as good, if not slightly better, and it's way easier for me, so I'm going with that done is better than best attitude. So
yeah,
so it's costing me time, Kim. So I don't know where you can get them scanned cheaply because it's just costing me time. I guess, and technically hard drive space and stuff, but that's really cute, Cheryl.
Thank you. I'm gonna go.
You could rent one. Go for it. So I would like to digi-scrap them, Jan, but for the moment, at least those pages are done. Which is why I'm kind of doing that, because I'm like, I will probably, I have done some of them over, like my wedding album. I really don't like what I did with it. I had like zero budget and paper was expensive, so it's whatever. So I've been slowly redoing some of those pages. But as like the everyday pages that I have, I don't know that I'll necessarily redo all of those. But I like to have them digitally. I don't know why Cheryl's not singing.
What should I sing?
Stupid Cupid or something?
Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me.
I was just like, you're talking about love and you're scrapping with a kit called Cupid.
Yep. Let's see.
So, Jan, when I was researching sending negatives out to be scanned, the biggest thing I was looking at was where they send them to. And the company I was going to use, I ended up buying a negative scanner instead. But the company I was going to use was US based. And that was important to me because I didn't want my negatives being sent across the US to some place where they then sent them to the Philippines or India or somewhere else. But that was because that's what was important to me. So honestly, that would be something to consider for yourself. And there's very few companies that do it anymore in the States because it's just not, it's not cheap. But if you're near a college or a university, you should give them a call and see if they have machines available for archiving. Because some of them do. Yeah, it can. Well, I just watched TV while I did it. It didn't take forever. But like, okay, so if you were in Utah, they have their BYU, Brigham Young University has scanners that they let the general public use. And they're the bigger ones that you can put like 10 negatives in at once. So, yeah, there's lots of, I mean, and I know other schools do it, and I know there's different things available. I think sometimes family history centers, if you find them. Yeah, totally. Call and ask around. And if you do, you might find them. I mean, some of them might charge a nominal fee to do it, and some of them might be free. But it's really interesting how some of them have this huge archival thing going on. You're in a good place that there's probably lots of places around you that somebody might do it or might have the machines that they loan out to the community or whatever. The DC area. Michelle says she loves your paper shadow warping action, Cheryl.
Yay! Yes.
Isn't that why you have Photoshop, Jan? For dust removing off the negatives after you've scanned them? Look at those cute and easy paper strips you made.
So quick, so quick.
And so cute and effective.
Let's see.
That is a super cute selfie, too.
Bring this over here, I think.
Okay, Cheryl, question for you.
Okay.
So I noticed you zoomed in really close. Was that just for your journaling, or was it to make you feel like your canvas was smaller?
To do my journaling.
Well,
I think I scrapped the whole layout that way.
How else do you make it seem smaller besides doing that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it does kind of feel like I've just made this my canvas.
Yeah, which is good because that's a great way to approach a minimalist canvas, you know. But I just wondered if you did it on purpose.
No, I zoomed in to see what I was typing to make sure, you know, had the right thing going on here.
Yeah. Yeah, there was, Jan, there's one of the PSCs that I know introduced the like dust detection and deletion, and it's done computer, so you can't guarantee it's perfect, but it might do okay. I don't know. Michelle said she bought a scanner for her dad's slide and then sold it on eBay for $750. So she bought it for $800, sold it for $750. So it cost her $50 to use the scanner.
Oh,
That's a good idea. And Jan has, yeah, I don't remember exactly, Jan. I honestly, because I haven't been in that program, but I do know there was that option, and I assume it's not one they've dropped, but I wouldn't promise that to you.
yeah,
But
my
you might
luck,
want to play around and check.
I'd buy one and nobody would buy it.
Yeah.
I'd be stuck with it. That'd be my
Yeah.
luck.
See, and I bought one, and it's actually one that's kind of hard to find, but I bought it because it had pretty good reviews. It bothers me a little bit because it scans my negatives slightly green. Like it has a slightly greener tone than the negatives do.
Yeah.
But I figure once I fix one of them, I can just apply that all throughout Lightroom, so that'll be an easy fix. And this way, done is better than perfect, right?
Right.
Because we have so many negatives that over the years have just degraded that totally lost.
Yeah.
I'm like, my parents actually used to take quite a bit of pictures considering, but they just, a lot of them just got degraded because of where we lived or the weather and stuff. And even ones that I took back, in the late 90s have degraded. It's so sad. Jan has a Cano scan. She can scan negative slides 2 1/4 inch and paper. That's cool. Yeah, I had one that did a, what did it do? It did 4x6 photos and negatives and slides, but it didn't really do the negatives very well, but it did the slides pretty good. So I bought a different one that does negatives a lot better, and it's kind of cool because you just put it through, and then, I mean, it sucks because it takes time because you have to take a picture, basically, of each picture, but it means I can make sure that it's sitting exactly how I want it, if that makes sense. My problem is, when I was growing up, my parents bought my first camera was a 110 camera. And it is almost impossible to find a scanner that will scan that 110 film. And so this one does. And then, so I scanned everything that was still in those. And I'm glad I did, because there are some that have a lot of dust and stuff on them that would need a lot of fixing. But I'm still excited to have them. Like, some of them are like my siblings' childhood photos that they may not even have a copy of. So mine is, called a Wolverine scanner. It's really funky yellow. I think I bought it off of Amazon used, so, or their warehouse deals or something.
It's very cute.
It's adorable.
Another one bites the dust. I think I want to turn this though.
There you go, Jan. I did not buy it for the color. I would have liked it in any other color. But like I said, it does tend to scan a little bit green. And that's a little frustrating, but I figure I can fix it. I can fix it.
Pull this back down here, I think. I'm going to have to leave it alone. I'm going to keep messing with it.
Leave it alone, leave it alone, leave it alone.
Leave it alone. It's done. It's done.
It's done. It's pretty. Done. Walk away, Kim says. Save it. Save and exit, Cheryl. Save and exit.
It's saved. It's saved.
Time to exit. You're good. That butterfly keeps flying around her layout. Yes, it does.
Yes. Well, I wanted to have some more of the metal, that gold look. So I was trying to spread it out, and I never could get it right where I wanted it. Yeah. It looks pretty good. Well, that'll work. That will work. Does anybody have any questions? I was just.
Let's see. We've talked about scanning. We've talked about food, of course. Cheryl sang for us.
Yeah, I mean, I could sing along with that song, but I don't know if I'd remember all the lyrics to that.
Gotcha.
That's like an obscure song.
Stupid Cupid?
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, I gotta go grab my pastry puffs. I'll be back.
Okay. Yes, she's making these pastry things and she's describing them and she's just torturing me with all her little things. Pastry puffs. Yep. I think she said she will have to come back and tell us what the name of them are again. We have Dove chocolates and some M&Ms, and my husband also got these Reese's peanut butter cup eggs, but we're all disappointed because they're the white chocolate ones. He didn't realize it, and that's not the favorite. We don't have a Costco here.
Really? You don't have a Costco?
No.
Huh.
They're the closest ones in Mobile. We have a Sam's Club.
Yeah. I have both. And there's things I like at one much better than the other.
Yeah. So we were asking about your pastry puffs.
Yes.
What are they called again? You had a
I had a fancy name for the dough, huh?
Yeah.
The name for the dough is pas de choux. And I probably just totally, oh, good. I was like, is Julie still in here? Because she'll tell me how I said that super wrong because it's French. Paris, it's like Paris Brest is what it says. But they're strawberry Paris Brest. Brest is what they look like. I was looking to see if there's one. But it's basically just a pastry, and then you slice it in half and you fill it with whipped cream and strawberries. It's kind of like a strawberry cream puff.
Oh my goodness.
But it's super good and super delicious, and yeah. Like, I don't, easy for you to say. What do you mean? What part was easy for me to say? It actually is, I know, it sounds, but like you boil all the ingredients and then you turn it off and you add the flour. And then you turn the oven back, or you turn the stove back on for a second and just kind of mix the flour together and cook the flour. And then you bake it, and that's it. Or you add the eggs. So you stir the eggs in after to the dough, and then you cook it, you bake it, and that's it. It's really not a lot of work. Most days, it seems to me like less work than cookies, like chocolate chip cookies.
Do you think it's because it's something you've done more than once, though? Like, does the measuring does it take a while to measure everything?
No, it's 5 tablespoons of butter, a 1/3 cup of water, a 1/3 cup of milk, a teaspoon of sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You bring that to a boil on the stove, and then when it boils, you turn it off. You add in, I want to say it's like 1/4 cup of flour, and then you just stir it. And then once it's all stirred together, it comes together like a dough. And then you turn the stove back on and you heat it for like seriously 2 minutes, just enough to make it so everything's mixed and there's no white flour showing.
Right.
And then you turn it off again, and then you add the eggs one by one, which it's 3 eggs, one by one, and then you just put it on a pan and shove it in the oven. And then I'll go cut up some strawberries, and I'll go make my mixer make some whipped cream, and that's it. So that's why I said, honestly, I think in reality, because you set it in the oven for so long and just kind of let it be, it really does seem like less work than making chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
It's like chocolate chip cookies, once you have to measure everything together. So you're same thing. Put it all together. It's like a cream puff, Jan. I was trying to think, didn't I scrap something with them? I might have scrapped a picture of them, but maybe not. And then, yeah, so I'm like,
but basically fancy strawberry shortcakes.
Yeah, they look really super fancy, but they sound fancy because it's like a cream puff dough. but it's a French dough, so that's why it's called pas de choux. And I think it means like little shoe or something like that. It's really kind of funny when you think of it that way. But yeah, they cook up pretty easy. They're really quite delicious, and they look super fancy. So if you're trying to impress somebody, it's a fun one to make because it didn't take much effort, but it sure looks fancy. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm making. And then eventually I'll make dinner. Dessert first. Life is short.
Yeah, it is.
So, and now you know the secret of those bakeries you go to, and all the stuff in the can in the front looks so good. Most of it actually is pretty easy to make.
Yeah. I don't know. My mixer is not out on the counter, and it's KitchenAid, so it's like heavy. And
oh, yeah.
I really want one of the, it's a swing out counter. You know what I'm talking? But if I have that put in, then I lose a drawer in the kitchen. So I have to wait for someone to pull my mixer out for me. So there's lots of things I don't end up making, because by the time the end of the day rolls around, I'm like, no, I don't feel like doing that.
Yeah, I keep mine on my counter.
Yeah.
Like intentionally. Yeah, Jan says she loves those cabinets, but you lose a lot of storage. Oh, that's cool, Michelle. They take the girls out for dinner every other month, and they'll do dessert first, then dinner, then appetizers.
Oh, how cute.
How fun. Ooh, crescent rolls baked with apples and cinnamon. That sounds good. Have you ever done that? Like, okay, so secretly I love to cook. Just so you guys know. I love to bake and I love to cook. But have you ever done apple cinnamon for breakfast, Michelle, where you do like apple cinnamon and then you put like a pancake batter on top of it and you bake it? And then it's like the apples and cinnamon melt together and it becomes breakfast. It's like it feels like a fancy pancake. And again, it's really not too hard.
Yeah. No, my favorite breakfast thing is to take Jimmy Dean sausage and you crumble it and cook it, and then you add in a block of cream cheese and you put it in you line your pan with crescent rolls and bake them for 3 or 4 minutes. Then you put the sausage cream cheese mixture and then you top it with more crescent rolls.
I've never done that one.
Oh my goodness, it's perfect. It's like a little buttery, a little spicy sausage. Ooh. Oh, we do it for Christmas morning because it's easy for me to make ahead of time. So I usually go ahead. I'll do it either, depends on what we're doing Christmas Eve, what our plans are, but sometimes I do it in the morning or in the evening when we get back from my dad's. And then that way it's just pull it out and pop it in the oven.
Yeah, that's awesome. That sounds good too.
Yeah. And monkey bread, with bread.
Yeah, I made it once and I managed to burn the bottom. Or at least not burn it, but make it hard enough that I was like, I don't care for this. I haven't made it since.
Yeah, it's really good when you get it just right. But that's one I found that you really can't make ahead. It doesn't, because it gets so cold that it just doesn't heat well, like the outside and stuff. So,
gotcha.
And I watched a video the other day about how you get your your cake layers very flat and even. You know how a lot of times cake layers will rise in the center? And they have these fun little cozy things that you wet and wrap around your pan, and it helps keep the outside from getting warmer than the inside, so you get a more even bake.
But if you do that, then you don't get to cut off the top that domed and eat it. Like, come on,
this is true. Yeah. Well, what I like to do is leave the dome and then add a whole bunch of icing on the edge, so then when you cut it, there's happy icing pockets.
I like that too.
The icing pockets on the outside. When I make my mom's that best ever coconut cake, and you just make that butter recipe cake, and then your icing is sugar, sour cream, and Cool Whip, and half your package of coconut, and then you ice between the layers and the top, and then you cover it with the rest of the coconut. And really, the longer it's in the refrigerator, the better it gets. It's quite yummy, delicious, but I like to use extra Cool Whip, so it's really fluffy and happy. That's where I like having the pockets of extra icing, because it's not too sweet. Not too
That
sweet.
makes sense.
Yes. Well, I am finished with my layout, and
I got to go finish making my dessert.
Yes. And now everybody's starving and wanting some kind of dessert themselves.
Sorry about that, guys.
I'm going to toddle in there and have a Dove chocolate, I think. And yeah, that was a fast layout, right? I think it was like 8:36 and I was done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should get on this minimalism bus, right? I'll be like busting out layouts left and right. Yeah. Yeah, I like it every now and then.
Yeah, it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, I wanted to try a different designer and kind of show y'all, because when I look in the store, I'm really drawn to Elif's designs, and is it Designs by Soko? I may do hers next time. So, and I want to do Rachel Jeffries, and because I don't think I've scrapped with any of hers yet. So I got plans. We got plans.
All right.
So the only other big thing coming up is our retiring product sale. So don't have a heart attack when you see retirement sale. It's just retiring products that are going away. So that will start on the 22nd. And I think that's the only thing I can think of that's happening the rest of this month. Yeah, check your calendar in the forum. Make sure I'm not missing anything. And then I will see y'all next month.
And if you stop by Cheryl's thread, I'll put a photo of my my yummy delicious meal strawberry yummy delicious strawberry thing.
Yes, that's perfect. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much.
See you later. Bye.
All right. Bye.